All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to week number 8. It is crazy. We are getting down to it. Match number 15 out of 18 is coming your way today, and we have a banger lineup coming on this stream tonight. And I'm super excited here. Quick shout out to Krippus for gifting a sub and also helping out on the stream today. And yeah, why don't I introduce my good friend and seemingly infinite play-by-play partner, Mirly. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and yeah, it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. I guess we are stuck with each other in this endless time loop of commentary. But there's worse fates.
That is true. It could be worse. We could have to play Rocket League on the same team or something.
Oh yeah,
That would
that would
that would
be
suck. That would
truly
be
awful.
terrible, terrible. But fortunately, we were spared from that today, as we are going to be going through the Player of the Week awards for last week, for week number 7. A lot of great players, and we're gonna get right into things before we have our matches tonight. We'll talk a little about that before we throw it over. But let's quickly go through the Player of the Week winners for this past week. Let's start it out in the Titan League, really.
Yeah, and coming in the Titan League, we had quite a few contenders. Some people unfortunately did not get enough games, but the ones that did, all very close. I already see at least a few people with over 500 score. Of course, we got Luca up there, got Burr, Mad Max, all the people you'd expect. I even see Bagel Chungus, the Summer Bummer. You know what? I'm a little bit upset that he didn't get. Got to root for the homies, but this person who did get, actually on the same team and just as deserving, had a nice performance. We got to see them play on stream on Wednesday as well, which was a treat, of course, as always. And the Titan League Player of the Week will go to Goff. So congratulations, Goff from Grandmasters there. I mean, we all know the guy. We all love the guy. Nice to see him. Nice to see him getting some recognition out here.
Yeah, and Goff actually absolutely popped off this week, really, with almost 1.3 goals per game, 1.43 assists, and 1.43 saves per game. So the man was going crazy. And yeah, you shouted out Bagels. He was also a close runner up there, as he was the other one with 1.43 goals per game. So he was no slouch there. But Goff, he's going to edge out his teammate in a close race and take home the Titan Player of the Week. So congratulations to Goff there. And why don't we keep things rolling as we head into the rival league, where again, maybe not as close of a race, but it came down to 2 players here. But there are a couple people that were in the running. Shout out to Larry, who's up there, Crippist, who's streaming and gifted a sub. He's also in the running there. Also Sosa in there. But it really came down to 2 people in this race, one from Hydra and one from Chimeras. I came down to Mayo versus iTrash. And the winner of the Player of the Week is going to go to iTrash from the Chimeras. Came out this season, has had a great season. I believe he was an all-star this season, and definitely popped off this week, averaging nearly one in every category, every major category. So iTrash of the Chimeras taking home the Rival League Player of the Week this past week.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy does not live up to his name at all. I mean, I'm not sure if he's trying some reverse psychology stuff here, but every single time I've watched him play, he's looked like a very solid player. He's got mechanics, he's got the game sense, he's also got the stats to back it up. Like you said, it was a close race between Trash and Mayo. iTrash just barely edging it out, but both these guys, not only they had the same amount of goals per game at one flat, but it was really the saves that impressed me, actually. iTrash had 2 saves per game. Mayo had 2.14 saves per game. I think iTrash just edged out a little bit in the score, having a little bit higher of an average performance there. But definitely both these guys deserving, and congrats to iTrash for taking it home. He definitely deserves it the way he's been playing all season.
Yeah, definitely a great player there, and congrats to him. So Goff and iTrash, the first 2 Player of the Week winners. Merely, why don't you take it in our home league here, the Challenger League, for the Challenger Player of the Week?
And the Challenger League, of course, always heading back here. Another race that was a little bit close. Lots of high scoring games, actually. Most of the people on here are within 30 to 40 score per game with each other. A lot of people popped off. Just some names off the top of my head. See Jarhead up there. Kratos from the Bishops just played them, and we know for a fact that that guy definitely was a contender in the discussion. Chiefs RL. I see myself up there. I had a pretty good week last week as well. Not quite the best week, but pretty decent week. Gotta throw that in there. But this one will be going home actually to a member of Snowstorm. And this one will be going to Jonah, who absolutely popped off almost 500 score at 486, 1.67 goals per game with a shooting percentage of almost 50% at 48%. So, I mean, this guy was just not missing last week. And 1.56 saves as well. I mean, he absolutely popped off. Not much else you can say about it.
Yeah, and he's a newcomer to Snowstorm here this season, and he's made an impact. I know Snowstorm has been excited to have him on the team, and he's put up some pretty close Player of the Week contention weeks, and now he's finally got one. Barely edging out Jarhead and Kratos, who really close there. Is a tough debate for that one, but congratulations to Jonah on taking home that Player of the Week for Challenger League. And why don't we keep things rolling onto the Prospect League? And before I get into Prospect League, I got to shout out a prospect who is resubbing for 3 months. Shout out to Beast Mode JPH from Velocity for the resub. Much love, much love. And why don't we talk about the players of the week? I would love to say that JPH is in the running here, but he gifted a sub, so that he's an honorary in the running there. I'd say for that one. But there's a lot of people again competing. This one a little bit more clear cut than some of the other leagues, but shout out to Jimmy from the Melons, Eternal on the Blackhawks, Dissensions over there. Who else we got? Panzer, Pirate Rage, Magic Pepperoni, Redwater, General Twee, all getting their names on the list. But the player of the week is another former All-Star who popped off this week. It is going to go to Dr. Waffles from the Bandits, who, again, another player merely. It just seems like these player of the weeks, there's always someone that's nearly averaging one in all the major categories, goals, assists, and saves. There's just always someone going crazy, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, you expect the stats to be pretty good, but even insofar as from what we expect, these are raising the bar for players of the week. I mean, myself personally, even bringing it back, I thought I had such a good week. I thought I would be pretty favored, but looking at the stats, I mean, these players are just getting so many goals, averaging so many saves and so many assists. I mean, one in each category, 1.71 saves, almost at two there, and with a high shooting percentage as well, 450 score. Dr. Waffles, I mean, it was somewhat close, but Dr. Waffles definitely taking a clear victory in the Player of the Week race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of these guys just showing out all around performances. So congratulations to him. And really, why don't you end us off here in the Novice League for the last player of the week from week 7?
And of course, heading into the Novice League, which we all know, the most volatile league by good margins. You never know what's going to happen in this league. But there will always be a player of the week, a player who rises above. As I'm looking here, another quick shout out to some honorable mentions. Got Psycho over there, Snipsy, old Snipsy. All love that guy. We got Saint from Frost, Mallow, hashtag stay hype. Still got the stay hype in his name. Love to see it. Another somewhat close race, but this player, once again, rising above. And we did get to see him, I believe, on stream or in the All-Star game at least. I think it was the All-Star game if I'm remembering correctly, and he managed to pop off there. And this one will go to Icarus from Frost over there, averaging 1.33 goals per game, 0.89 saves, and 1 save per game as well. Really stepping up, and we all know he's a great player. Now finally getting some recognition for it as well.
Definitely, Icarus, a very solid man there. And yeah, he's going to take home the player of the week. And that is going to round it out for those player of the week to see Goff, I Trash, Jonah, Dr. Waffles, and Icarus. Congratulations to all of you guys. A quick shout out to Blazing Biscuit for the 28-month resub. He's on 28 in a row, pretty much since Nemesis was started. So shout out to Biscuit, always supporting Nemesis. Much love to him for 28 months. That is a long time. But yeah, Merely, why don't we quickly, before we send it up into the booth with our guys Magic and Jaegers, why don't we quickly preview these matches? Just quickly run through each one. First up, we have the Bishops taking on the Drakes in what is really an insane Challenger League.
Yeah, the Challenger League. Oh man, it's ridiculous right now. Is it 9 teams at either 6-8 or 7-7? I
Yeah.
mean, the competition is wild. if you're in that middle range, you got to have your fingers crossed because it's a battle royale, and not every team is making it out into the play-ins. But that's what we're going to be witnessing today in the bloodbath that I'm sure it will be. Bishops at 7-7 taking on the Drakes at 7-7. Drakes coming off a hot sweep against Venom. A little bit of a not the most traditional series, but they've got to be feeling good after finally getting a nice sweep under their belt. And the Bishops, on the other hand, have had a little bit of a spree, but we know they're a solid team. I feel like this one could go either way, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a solid matchup there. And then 8:45, we have Blizzard taking on Pinnacle. That is a Season 5 Grand Finals rematch. Both these teams fighting for that playoff and play-in race. That should be another good one at 8:45. And then at 9:30, we have another banger there. Pawns and Whelps, and like we really said earlier, this novice league, nobody has clinched yet. Nobody out of all the leagues in Nemesis, this is the only league where teams haven't clinched. But the winner of this match tonight will clinch a play-in berth at the very least, and will keep themselves tied for the 1 seed. Pawns 10-4, Whelps 10-4 should be another great matchup at 9:30. But we got to get moving to our boys here for the first matchup. We have Bishops versus Drakes. Magic Pepperoni and Jaegers are standing by. Let's send them to the booth and have them take it away.